All right, we have herO there in the top right of altitude, and in the bottom left we have Trigger. You have a feeling the best Stormgate players in the world will be a bunch of 16-year-old no-names we never heard of. That won't be the case. RTS is too difficult, guy in the chat. So every RTS that ever comes out, the best players from StarCraft go, and they are the best. And then eventually players will work their way up, like newer players. You see that even in StarCraft 2, right? Like Clem and Raynor and stuff. Like eventually brand new players rise up and do take the top reigns, but it takes them years. And that will be the case with Stormgate as well. It has always been the case. And there's not... This isn't a fucking shooty gun game. You can't just be like, look at me, my Twitch reflex to click on your head is really good, and I'm 12, and I'm the best player in the world. That doesn't work in RTS. In RTS, you gotta actually know how to fucking play the game. So, yeah. It'll be all players that you know up at the top for years. All right. So, let's talk about this game instead of your bad ideas about Stormgate. We have this ramped expansion in altitude, so it's very common to go one gate there and go for an expansion. But then, because that is so common, oftentimes you're going to see the probes come down and block. Sometimes they're going to build a pylon there. You know, this is a very standard back and forth for small ramped natural expansions in PvP. It really is superior to putting your gates in your main base, honestly. And, yeah, you can see Trigger there. He's putting this pylon down to block the Nexus. You know, it's if your opponent actually wanted to make the Nexus, it's worth. I feel like anytime the Zealot pops out, you could cancel the pylon, and I don't think that would be a bad play to cancel it, because the Zealot powers the pylon down pretty darn quickly, to the point where I wonder if it's really worth it to let the pylon finish. Oh, okay, you wanted the double block. So the Cybernetics Core has a lot of health, which is why you put the Cybernetics Core down. It's really all about building health. That's the only thing you're thinking about, rather than a Gateway or a Cybernetics Core. So if it does finish and you go for a move like that, that can be very good. Because you see how much that has. It takes a while.
Donated $3.33.
What's up,
Insert disappointed message here. Artie, have you forsaken your destiny?
Huh?
Artie, do you improve your Brood War skills by casting SC2?
Yes.
Queue up.
Okay, that one I would have canceled. That one I would have canceled. Thank you, Terran Coach. But yes, actually, paying attention to other similar games, there's plenty of studies that prove that that helps you improve at what you do. Okay, anyways, big thing here. Trigger is going for a proxy pylon. herO took his third, like he's playing, like he's a Zerg player, you know? He took that third that's like wide open, no wall or anything, and Trigger is putting on insane pressure here, man. Oh, he comes back with a Zealot for the hit. That was sick, dude. That was really good. Now, don't go up there, Trigger. Don't do it. Trigger, Trigger, Trigger! Trigger! Pull back. Okay, Void Ray coming across the map. Look at this. He's proxying a gateway and everything. Dude, this is big, man. Oh my god. Trigger. Trigger. This is... He is killing right now. herO's in serious trouble. herO is in some trouble here, okay? Now, herO's just making Stalkers. You got to be careful, though, Trigger. If you overcommit here, you're dead. Now, that's 6 Stalkers. This is not enough there. Oh, boy. We are so sad right now. This is something Trigger will learn about as he continues to play and gets more experience. Like, that's a very pro-gamer thing that he just did there. I actually made a video about this, about transitions in StarCraft. And this, like, I feel like I just want to play that video right now because it literally talks exactly about what we just saw. herO, instead of trying to get anything else out, just continues to make his base units because he just needs as many as he can get right now. Because if he tries to transition, he dies. But if he keeps making these units, he has a chance. So Trigger, like, overcommitting there. If he had waited and he had 2 Void Rays here, that's a win. That is a win straight up. As is, like, I think he still will get it, but, you know, herO's given himself a fighting chance by picking that off at least. All right, we need a recall on these stalkers. They can't go up the ramp, I don't think. Okay, herO's micro here is really insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. The only thing I can think right now is that Trigger doesn't realize there's another Nexus. But he made a few mistakes in here, and suddenly herO goes from should have been dead to can't lose. Yeah, I think he might be panicking, yeah. Oh, wait, Mapu just showed the vision, but I wasn't looking. Did he see that there was a third Nexus? Someone in the chat tell me.
X300. I come to see
no sight. Okay, makes sense.
War, but instead I see this dying game called StarCraft 2. Well, at least there are cuties in the chat to keep me entertained.
I'm glad
Cuties
Xiaolongbao.
detected. Memes expected. Have fun, Artie.
Thank you, Xiaolongbao. Yeah, so he didn't see it, but also I think that there is some panicking going on. Like, obviously he's good enough to know that he was at a big advantage. So he's certainly made mistakes. Obviously that force field, that's like a weird panic force field. He screwed that up. You know, as an up-and-coming player like Trigger that a lot of people are talking about, you know, I hear his name thrown around as like a very strong Protoss nowadays, but he hasn't done anything yet. And then you're literally playing the best Protoss in the world and you got him. And then it's just like you screw up like 3 times in a row, you know? If this was just a ladder game and he didn't know, like herO was not on an ID that he knew or something, I bet you he wins this game. But here he is, you know, in front of thousands of people playing the best Protoss that there is, and it's like, certainly it looks like that was, those were some panicked mistakes. That's what it looks like. I don't like to overanalyze, but it certainly looks that way. All right. So where are we at? herO's taking a third. He's almost got Blink. It's an Immortal-based build here right now for Trigger. These are older builds where you're going heavier Immortal, and they can do well against the Stalkers. But generally what will occur in a situation like this is herO will have a bigger economy, he'll have the mobility of the Stalkers, and he'll go into charge. And with that charge upgrade, it's going to become like really incredibly difficult for the Immortals to do enough because the charge lots are going to be quite strong against them. Now, that being said, this Glaives upgrade is one of the most interesting Glaives upgrades I have ever seen in my life, okay? This is a fascinating Glaives upgrade. This actually might be amazing, okay? So instead of going Stalker here, the Glaives will do better against Zealots. They will be able to kite a bit. The Shades are a possibility of doing damage. And if the Stalkers want to hit the Immortals, if he holds his army correctly, they'll get in range of the Adepts, which will be shooting very fast with that Glaive upgrade. I really like this idea. I really like it. He needs to do something out there a little bit to be able to take this game, and I think that this is awesome. I don't know that it will work, but I can't come up with anything else. The only other thing that you could even suggest is going Disruptor, but you don't think that's going to work in this situation. It's like you just have to get lucky Disruptor shots. It's like, yeah, dude, that's like every time you're behind. But I love it. I love it. Let's see what he does. I want to see Mass Adept. Honestly, I want to see him... he's in range of this Observer, which sucks. I would like to see him warp in. Okay, he has 10. He has 10 already. Where are they? Okay, they're coming from his natural. Now, warp in, like, how many gates does he have? 6? Warp in another 6? That's a reasonable army. Oh, careful, dude, careful. Oh, my God. If he gets force field on that ramp, he's screwed. Okay, that was good. Those were Trigger's force fields there. Zoning back herO. herO's army is a little bit scarier, I think, right at this second. It's really about the Immortals getting the damage onto those Stalkers. Oh my God, this is crazy, dude. Okay, Trigger's coming up. Let's see what he does. His army is pretty good. Look at that. Okay, he blinks in. The Immortals are going to get some very good shots. They're only shooting Stalkers right now, which is what you want. Some force fields got. He still has 2 Immortals. And that overcharge is doing serious work there as he blinks back into it. Now, his own immortal's coming up. There is one immortal here for herO. It remains alive. It looks like herO's going to be able to take it. Blinks in for that finish. But you know what? Trigger had potential to take that game early on. Things went wrong. Trigger made some mistakes. But he could have taken that game. He absolutely could have taken that game. And that's saying something. That's cool. He chose a build, he executed well, until he didn't. I guess that's the way it is sometimes. All right. He did pull the trigger a bit too early. Very good guy in the chat. Very good. We'll be getting into game number 2 here in just a moment. Here we go. Game number 2, guys. Okay. We're going to go into Ancient Cistern as the second map. herO, of course, in the lead as Mapu types out there. Don't forget to follow Mapu. You can use command Mapu for his Twitter and Twitch channels. He is our wonderful observer within StarCraft. He's so good that he's been doing other games as well, such as Age of Empires. Fantastically talented, hardworking individual. Love to have him here and observing for us. I think it just makes the cast, the stream, so much better. I miss everything when I observe. I'm a terrible observer. I'm trying to get better since I do the Artosis casts every single day. But it's hard, man, to observe right. When all you do is play, it's like I'm just clicky, many clicks. Wait, it's the same Mapu from AoE? He's not from AoE, he's from StarCraft. But yes, he's observed for AoE tournaments before. So, anyways, guys, a few things as we get started here. Please do follow my Twitch channel. A lot of you in here actually aren't following me. So do it. And yeah, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. And also check out my casting channel. I have a Brood War casting channel. It's generally about 2 games go up every single day right now. So definitely something that you want. So use the command Artosis casts, and you can check it out. The YouTube is the other channel. That's like more funny videos and stuff. Anyways, thank you guys. Now, and thank you very much, LuckQ, for 29 months of subbing. Guys, you'll never get to 29 if you don't start now. Throw those primes out there. Okay. Now, just some scouting going on. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. We have got, yeah, the 2-gate on both sides. You can see herO making well, both sides making Sentry Stalkers. So those are expansion builds. Thank you very much, guys. Palo and 1v1 Slaughter. Thanks for the subs. Appreciate you both. But yeah, I mean, as soon as you see the Sentry, that means Nexus, and they'll both be going for that. He goes back, trigger checks, he sees the Nexus. He's going to know that basically this is the same build as he's against. Oftentimes, you go up to 3 Sentries, and, you know, you're just going to utilize those for scouting. Now, yeah, there's the Nexus coming up for trigger. The thing is, when you both do this build, it's really hard to, like, hide anything, right? Like, you just get full info, and even if your opponent wasn't good enough to know what you should theoretically have, they can just look at what they have. Because you're doing the exact same build, so you'll have the exact same stuff. So they'll know immediately if something's hidden. Yeah, thank you for the subs, guys. Appreciate it. Lunarest. Dart Juice 69. That's a great ID. Lunarest, you're funny. All right. Both sides going for Twilights. And look at this from herO. Okay, you see that Forge? This is something I have talked about in PvP in StarCraft 2 for years and years and years. The timing of the first... Well, let's take Cannon Rush out of this. But the timing of the first Forge... Oh, wow, I have a lot to talk about because the Dark Shrine just went down, too. He timed that Dark Shrine right after the hallucination came out. That was the point of that, okay? He's looking for luck here to just win the game instantly. Anyways, the Forge... He showed the Forge, right? The Forge was something that was seen. When you put the Forge down... Oh, he catches it. This is huge. This is huge. He's really trying hard to zone this out. If it sees the Dark Shrine, he may cancel. Oh, and it doesn't see it. Holy crap. And herO should be certain of that it wasn't seen. He knows. Anyways, when you see the Forge, that is a sign that you cannot kill your opponent and you believe your opponent cannot kill you. That's what the Forge means. Because that's when you start getting upgrades. Because if you can't kill each other, the best thing you can do is upgrade. Okay? Well, expand obviously is another thing, but like upgrading is right up there. So that's always been what the Forge means. But the fact that he throws the Forge down, lets him see it, which is literally a signal that like, yeah, I'm not attacking, and you're not attacking. And then he goes Dark Shrine. What a fascinating combination. Now, his army is going to be much, much smaller, right? Because he's getting all this crap at once, like +1 in a Forge, and he's getting Dark Shrine, which is super expensive. DTs are expensive and take a while and everything. But, if he gets in here with a DT, he can just win the game. There is no observer. There's no observer. Now, he turns around there and goes for DT Blink. This is funny, because herO looked at that and said, okay, I can't get in there. And his hallucinated Phoenix saw the Robo, so he just assumes that there's going to be an observer, and there's literally not. There's literally not an observer, and I think actually Trigger still doesn't know. Okay, he starts an observer now. So maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't, but that observer's so late. Like, the second you see a DT, you cancel your Mortal and Chrono Boost out an observer so you don't lose the game. So this is like a very funny situation. herO is saving his DT, though, getting that DT blink, so he'll be blinking probably into the natural from that fourth base-ish looking location to the north. You'll probably want to try to blink in there and get a bunch of probes later on. Trying to slip in. Gonna be blocked, though. All right, good pick. We have that third Nexus that is finishing up on both sides. herO's just slightly faster, getting into charge quickly as well. I'm interested in the DT Blink. And here's the thing. I think DT Blink is and always has been underrated. Because DT Blink is very, very cheap. And it's not using up build time on anything. Like, for instance, it's not like instead of charge you're getting DT Blink, right? It's only a cost thing. And DT Blink costs less than 1 DT. So if you save 1 DT one time, it was worth it. Okay? It literally pays for itself after saving 1 DT one time. So yeah, I think it's a very valuable, good upgrade. You should definitely always get it. And it wasn't used until super recently. And super recently in StarCraft 2 is 4 years ago. Anyways. Yeah, the first DT Blink game was by Nightmare in GSL at the pro level. Anyways, this DT trying to get some damage. Another one goes into the natural. Oh my god, he's actually starting to get some real damage here, man. This is bad. Kills a pylon, tries to blink out, won't get out with that one. He is just killing pylons everywhere, killing probes. Oh my god. Okay, blows up that DT. 12 probes are lost. So Trigger at 47. Oh, and he recalls. I love it. Love it. Operation get that DT back to your base and then send it back out immediately. Okay, so as you can see, Trigger actually has a more heavy-hitting army, but there's charge lots out. So it's very similar to what we saw in the previous game, where it's like, okay, you have the Immortals, but your opponent does have charge lots. So where do you go here from Trigger? Previously, he went for Glaives, and I think that in that game, that was a really cool call. It doesn't look like this is a game where that's going to be the case. I think he should probably go for something else here. Like, he's taken a 4th, so it looks like he wants to macro out of it. Yeah, the big problem here is that herO's just ahead in every way. He just finished +2. His +1's finishing for Trigger. He has more probes, and he has a bigger army. And he has more tech. It's just like, you're just losing in every single category. If Trigger had one advantage, you'd be feeling a lot better about his spot. Yeah, I think here, I would try to say that maybe you go for like... Well, first off, maybe a better Sim City against these Zealots, because literally I think herO can just charge in and maybe win the game. Okay, pretty good force fields. Blinks forward, though. He doesn't have that overcharge yet, unfortunately. Ooh, that's a great move from herO.
Say GG.
Trigger having a hard time, man. Yeah, he's going to in a moment, because his third base is getting ravaged as well. Okay, he gets the overcharge. He gets the overcharge. All right, there you go. I actually thought that herO would just target that battery down before the Nexus finished. Targeting batteries is, like, very, very good. Trigger actually has a very high Stalker count right now. I am down for him to just keep making Stalkers at this point. Just play it like herO sometimes plays Protoss vs. Zerg. Oh, look at that. The blink and then the counter blink. I love it. But a nice move from herO going in, taking out this 4th base location. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to live. Now, maybe you counterattack as Trigger. Okay, that was... I like that Trigger did not blink forward to chase, because I feel like a lot of Protosses would have done that there. He's whittling down every Zealot. More Zealots coming. Oh, God. Guardian Shield even up right now. Yeah, the Immortal taking a ton of damage. Oh, man. It's just not enough for Trigger. I tell you, though, this Trigger kid is very good. He's a very good player. It's not working out for him against herO, but, like, I mean, herO is literally the best Protoss, so what are you going to do? It's like if you know, if a player is losing against Serral or a player is losing against Maru in their mirror matchups, you're not going to be surprised about that, right? It's like you just expect it. And you have to expect the same type of thing here. Especially with the micro of herO. He's one of the best micro players in the whole world. GG. But I think that Trigger played really nicely. I really like his style. Very much so. I think in future cups I'll be trying to check out some more of his games.